Semi-final number 2, the Hardos against Team Cow Attack. Another best of 3 series, the 7th qualifier for the X Cup Summer continues, everybody. And, well, let's go. In the grand final, we got Team Wa already waiting. And they are terrifying today. Again, they must have eaten their wheat bix. Whatever they did, it worked out. Their oatmeal, I don't care. But these boys went ham. So, yeah. Talking about oatmeal, by the way, did you guys know? So, here's the American and the European version. Americans eat their oatmeal with water. Europeans eat their oatmeal with milk. Discuss. Yeah, so in the grand final, we have the Team Wa waiting. And boy, they were strong in this tournament so far. Oh, they murdered some top teams. And, of course, it could come back down to the same grand final that we had last time between the Hardos and Team Wa. And the interesting part between the two is that Team Wa is currently threatening to steal the #1 position away from the Hardos. And they're getting closer and closer with every single tournament. So for the Hardos, it would be quite nice to take them down here. We got the ban on Zagara, the ban on Li Ming. And, well, with that, let's go. What else are we going to get banned out? Vala in particular, of course, comes to mind. It's Battlefield of Eternity, so that changes things slightly. Normally you also have the Uther ban in there, but lately what a lot of the teams did is they lock in an early Vala pick, and then it's just a question of whether you play with a double support or not. So the interesting part here is that for the blue team, what we've seen now multiple times is that if there is a Vala pick on the other side and someone tries a double support with that, they will pick Sul'jin. And that worked really well for them thus far. But this time, they are the ones to come in with Vala and very likely either a double support or some kind of shield hero that we have there. So, yeah, there we go. I want to see what Team Cow Attack is going to do on the other side. I mean, the Polish team, the name is still a bit weird to me, but the Polish team, they are quite strong, and they are starting to establish themselves further and further in the top 8 here. There's quite the battle over the top 8 currently going on, especially with the Donuts starting to push in too. So we have a pretty tight battle about these spots, and it changes nearly every single week, just a couple of positions. But if at the end of the 10 qualifiers you're not in the top 8, then you don't have a chance to play for the 4,000 euros prize money. So we'll see what exactly, or who exactly is going to make it into the top 8. But at this point it looks like it's going to be a race until the end of all the qualifiers. So here comes Stukov, and we have Garrosh. That should at least spark a discussion about banning out Zarya. And yes, there it is. The Zarya ban. That makes a whole lot of sense, because if you don't ban out Zarya here, then you have a Garrosh Zarya set up against you. As mentioned, Vala would also benefit from having Zarya on the team. You want to have a little bit more than only one support if you can. But what's the last ban? It's Hanzo! Boy is out. Oh, there we go. Okay, and with that, what are we getting next? I want to see in particular what Richard is going to play. That's... And Gore Rider, honestly, Gore Rider has been playing an insane Sylvanas. I wouldn't be shocked if they are switching Sylvanas over to him. I still remember, was it the qualifiers for the Masters? Honestly, I don't know if it was the qualifiers for the Masters Clash. But half a year ago or so, a couple of the games that he played, I mean, that guy didn't give a fuck. He jumped with this wave on Sylvanas into the fight, got 2 kills, jumped out again with like 5 hit points left, or something along those lines, and it happened every single battle. That guy is just absolutely bonkers. He has a couple of heroes where he just excels, and you don't want to give him an opportunity to play with any of that. But yeah, so now we have Anduin for the red team, and we also got Sonya, whereas the double support is indeed becoming a reality. We have Uther plus Stukov for the Hardos, and Thrall. Okay, Thrall comes in. And with that, we have only one left. Gore Rider. Is he going to get the Sylvanas pick, or is he picking something for himself here? We have the swap round coming up after the next pick. And yeah, I'm excited to see what Team Cow Attack can do here. How far they can go against the Hardos. If they can maybe make it into the grand final. Sul'jin! Seems like they're getting a bit of a taste of their own medicine. That's an aggressive lineup though. Nubarak, Sonya, Sylvanas, and Sul'jin. And indeed, Gore Rider is going to play Sylvanas. So guys, let's go. Game number 1. We're on Battlefield of Eternity. We have Team Cow Attack going up against the Hardos. And as the game starts, also a little conclusion revelation why Americans use water for their oatmeal. The Hardos against Team Cow Attack. On the left side, we have Hardos on Thrall. We got Nick on Vala, Kopenhagen on Stukov, Yasuo is playing Uther, and Bad Benny on Garrosh. On the right side of the map, we currently got Mimikyu for Team Cow Attack on Anubarak. We got Cesarbos on Sol'Jin, Richu on Sonya, Pestka on Anduin, and Gore Rider on Sylvanas. So the immediate reaction that I got for the story with Americans using water for their oatmeal and Europeans using milk was that most people were insanely disgusted, which was exactly my reaction when I had that conversation with Hardos when I lived in Korea for StarCraft 2. And when I moved to the US, that finally made a little bit more sense, because as it turns out, we talked about very different things. So when Europeans talk about their oatmeal and using milk for it, they're talking about eating it cold. And that's what you normally do. By the way, also talking about cold, Sol'Jin got caught cold here and got eliminated by Stukov as it happens. So already an early kill for the Hardos. Yeah, but as we're going back to the actual story of the beginning of the game, Americans, when they use water with their oatmeal, what they do is they actually just put that into the microwave and it becomes a totally different consistency. They're not using it, they're not eating it in the same way that Europeans would think about when they're hearing about eating cereal or eating oatmeal. So that was very different then, and honestly, it doesn't taste too bad. It actually tastes pretty good, so it's a totally different style of eating that, but that was only revealed to me when I moved to the US and lived in California for 2 years. Up to that point, it was a constant point of irritation whenever I talked to Hardos about it, and I was like, how can you even eat that with water? What is wrong with you? You have to eat that with milk. And he's like, milk? No! But yeah, so you put that into... You put the oatmeal in, you put some water in, you put that into the microwave, and then you eat it warm. So that's pretty much the solution to all of this. But either way, now that we're heading into the rest of the game here, most of the game, hopefully, we have our first kill. Sol'Jin is, of course, going to try and stack it up a little bit more. His baseline damage is going to be the real important thing. Got a bit caught early on, but if Cesarbos is able to get those hits connected. The problem for him, honestly, is really dancing around Bad Benny, because every single time he goes into the auto attack range, it's also going to threaten him. As you can see, that stun connected right away, and if Benny can close the distance, then that's a kill opportunity. So that's what you have to really be careful about. But for now, 1 kill to 0, and heavy pressure with Cesarbos and Gore Rider topside, and they are starting to do real work at that first tower. So this is some solid pressure against the Hardos that could become a little bit problematic if it continues, but you know how quickly a game like this can flip. And that top lane pressure, if you can stand it for a long time, you might just find that one opening where you can flip a hero over the wall, take him down, and then quickly turn the tides. But either way, as all of this happens, we got the Bone Slice on level 1, we got the Voodoo Shuffle in, we have Sol'Jin with the rest of the team now going also for the Mercenary Camp. We're going to see the same thing happening on the Hardos side. They of course play this double support Vala setup that we have seen a lot. And they are normally the ones that counteract Vala with Sol'Jin. But more often than not, whenever they do that, they also play double support, and that's not really what Team Cow Attack is going for here. But Cesarbos, I want to see what he can do with Sol'Jin. And also I want to see what Gore Rider is able to do this time with Sylvanas. I already highlighted his Sylvanas plays a bit as we saw him in the game, just as they picked the hero. So I want to see what else they can do here. Already, Hardos gets murdered a bit by the axe. But he has the Frostwolf pack and got the first stack for that. Sonya has started to do damage down here. 1 hit at a time. Yeah, but level 7 is still a bit far off, so we're playing it around level 4 talents for now. The dive, the flip, can they go for Nubarak? Bad Benny is a bit low too, but Nubarak is the one in trouble, and Anduin is saving the day for the bug. At least for now, spin to win, and they get out. The stacks, we're sitting at 5. 5 stacks on the baseline for Mimikyu. Topside damage by Hardos as he's moving in and takes it to the halftime show. Yeah, they're looking this in easily. Choo-choo! Not only Benny does not have the choo-choo, which is a little bit sacrilege. Don't get me wrong, the bottle ship is nice, but still. Another kill, and it was Gore Rider that they go for. Benny not on a choo-choo is just not okay. I mean, our train conductor over here that needs to let the trains through every now and then and pauses the game because of it, he needs to ride in style. It's Cecil Boss that is trying to make up for that, but he should probably be focusing a bit more on the positioning because that's an easy kill against him, and that leads to a 3-0 kill lead for the Hardos. Yeah. They look very, very strong here in the early game. This is also, of course, going to be a first objective for them. There's Benny with a pause. Yeah. No. It's not because someone dropped here. That's not what really happened. In reality, Benny has to let a train through again. By the way, if you're absolutely not aware what I'm talking about here, we had, during the last Meta Madness, I believe it was, Benny announcing before the games started that at very specific times he needed to pause the game for 2 minutes. And everybody was like, yeah, well, that's fine. We can do that. But why exactly is that the case? And at first when he told me, I thought that he had, you know, like a pizza coming or something, like he ordered food. But the one thing that threw me off was that he was so specific about it, of when exactly he needed to do that. He gave me an exact 5-minute time window where he said, like, yeah, this is when it's going to happen. And I'm like, all right, why is that? And it turned out that he's apparently working or worked as a train conductor somewhere or something along those lines. By the way, this is not me moving the screen. I have no idea what's happening here. Did I misclick somewhere? Are we sent around something? Yeah, but either way, he had to let a train through somewhere. So he was playing with his laptop at work, and every 40 minutes or so, he needed to pause the game real quickly to let a train through, which was kind of insane. I mean, thankfully, he clarified very, very quickly that if he misses that window, it's not going to result in a horrific crash or anything. But yeah, still, it was kind of funny. A bit of a ping-pong game that's being played with Mimikyu here as he gets flipped in by Garrosh and then saved by Anduin. And yeah, there we go. 3 kills to 0 and a big push through the top lane. You will note that Sonya's down at the bottom of the map trying to get some counter pressure, but up at the top they have to forego this one. Yeah, that one's out. That fort is just gone. Gone like the last train. Ritual in the bot lane, he's working. But he also needs to really get away from there or he's going to be hit by that gank and he's going to be hit hard. So, there we go. Yeah, back then with the story, I don't really know what amazed me more, that he that he had to do that. that was the reason for why he needed to pause the game, or that he played Heroes on a laptop. I mean, are you kidding me? I would never competitively play any game on a laptop. I know there's some amazing gaming laptops out there, but still, it was kind of interesting though. Also interesting that we have another kill against Suljin. Oh, not only him, Anubarak is dead too. The Hardos, they seem to be in good shape today. They made it to the semi-final for a reason, of course, but here, oh, they're speedrunning this. They have level 10 abilities now, the Decimate is in, Strafe has been picked, and they seem to be in very good shape. If they make it to the grand final and go off against Team Wah, it could be quite the interesting game. Now, we have Nick with Vala just dancing, doing the damage, having the 25,000 locked in. But not a single kill yet for Team Cow Attack. That's always a bit strange. Oh, Benny. Carefully here. Divine Shield, Vala, Strafe. And they're zoning them a little bit further. Okay, there we go. Yeah, if you tip a cow, it results in a cow attack. Actually, somebody jumped in and told me that there's apparently, again, a word play with the Polish language or so that results in the team name. Honestly, usually I read these things, I'm like, huh, interesting, and then I forget about them again before I can tell you. So apologies for that. Benny, on the other hand, is he going to get the healing needed here? Yes, he indeed does. And oh, that's a potential kill, and he gets it. Another dead Suljin. Apparently they don't want axe. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but they are happy without the axe. Because our boy is not getting a lot of shots connected. Now he needs one more stack up to 15 and then he's going to have at least the range increase. It's going to help. The problem is it might already be too little too late, since at the 8-minute mark they finally lock in the level 10 ability, but this is going to be 100% shield on the Immortal. You know what? Maybe not. Maybe not. Halftime show is an easy win, of course, but with level 10 on both sides now we could see a bit more. That, on the other hand, I didn't expect. Really, Guillotine? Whew. Leap in... Oh my god. Light Bomb, leap into Guillotine. Spicy, baby, spicy. We're talking spicy plays right now. All right, let's see if that actually happens. If they pull that off, that would be insane. I mean, kudos for trying it. That's some serious balls that they have. There's the leap, and where's the guillotine? No, and that was just sad. That was sad, and he gets punished immediately. Yeah, the guillotine didn't hit either. Oh my god. Get wrecked. Oh boy, yeah, and that is of course a full win right there. Okay, as they lock this in, check this one out again. So that is after the setup failed, and they lose 4 heroes in one encounter. The only one that survived is the Nubarak, and he had pretty much no hit points left either. So now the Immortal travels down to the bot lane. The team is already moving in, but that did not work out. Not even a little bit. I mean, the idea behind it, I guess, is kind of interesting, but also guillotine is a little bit weird because at that position, you know, it's not only that you have to time everything perfectly, but you also have to make sure that the guillotine at least does damage. So, I don't know. But either way, question is, can you stop it? Because now it's a 2-level advantage. The stats alone are already playing a huge role here. And on top of that, we're talking about a pretty beastly Immortal here. Good news is we're early in the game, so oh, that's bad news though. Mimikyu! Ah, light bomb, engage! Rip! And Nubarak is down. The setup worked way better this time, but they still, yeah, they lose 4 heroes again. It just doesn't change. And this is a 5-man team wipe, baby! 5-man wipe, and that is gonna lead to the end of the game. Check this out. This is how they moved in for it. Real good play, and yes, the strafe, of course, towards the end was absolutely brutal. So they take down the entire team. Team Cow Attack got murdered, and now the same is happening to the core. 1-0 for the Hardos as they go hard in game number 1 to get the advantage in the best-of-3 series at the semi-final. GG, and well played.
Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV.
Infernal Shrines, second map in the series. The Hardos are ahead against Team Cow Attack, and they dominated the game. They absolutely dominated the game. Seems like today both Team Wa and the Hardos are looking very, very powerful. Now, I really don't know. Like, Team Y is always that stacked that I'm a bit afraid of what's gonna happen here. But it could be a real cool grand final if the two go up against each other. Now, it depends a little bit on Team Cow Attack. The idea that they had with the Light Bomb, Leap, Sonya, and the Guillotine follow-up, I honestly don't really know if they had that game plan from the beginning, if that was the idea, or if at some point they just decided that they were already so far behind that they might as well just go full YOLO on it and go for a high risk. Because I'm really not sold on that combo. And it didn't work out for them. Now, to be fair, they go up against the Hardos here. It's not like they are the underdogs anyways. So it's not like they don't have a chance of winning here, but let's be honest, the Hardos have been doing exceptionally well in every single tournament that they participated in, though, so far. They won several, so they are the favorites. So it's kind of interesting. This is also one of the first times that Junkrat wasn't banned out by the Hardos, and it immediately results in Junkrat being used as a first pick here in Infernal. Good poke from the outside, of course. We had bans on Zagara and Vala instead, which makes perfect sense, but here comes the Tiger's pick. So, yep. And we got Jojo. Okay. So, Tigers and Johanna. It's already a lot of control over the shrines. You have Johanna with her Condemn. And Johanna is also a little bit flexible in the way that you play her. Obviously, Blessed Shield is always an option, but let's say you have an Ana on the other side, and you just go into Falling Sword and you put the pressure on. Instead, we're getting Stitches! Playtime! I like it! Playtime for Mimikyu Stitches, and we get Leo. Okay, Janitor time. Once again. Okay. Blizzard released the Janitor Leoric skin. They let the Janitor out of the closet because they needed that closet for the last 5 developers for Heroes of the Storm that they now hold there. We're at Water Bread. And I try to maintain the appearance of them still caring about the game a little bit. Which so far they failed at, but again, can try. Zeratul and Sylvanas are being banned in the last one. Okay. And I want to see what particularly Nick plays, because this could be a Carrigan. Stitches, our big boy. Big hitbox. Hard to miss. Even with the stuns here. So, let's go. What are we getting? Is it the Carrigan? Well, Nick was probably going to pick last. I don't think they're going to lock it in right now. And yes, they don't. So the Haka and Lucio is what we're getting for now. And here come the last two picks. Let's go, everybody. And let's see what we're going to get with that. Well, for the red team. We need a healer. And we need damage. Malfurion would be up if you're trying to use that. Alex Strasser! They're trying to counteract the Odin with the Dragon Queen. Not a regular pick or anything, but okay. And we get a Mephisto. Yeah, sounds a little bit like Macken on the other side. Abathar! Okay, did not see that one coming. That's the second Abathar today. What's happening here? We play so many tournaments in a row. We get no Abathar, no Slugger, no nothing. And all of a sudden we get two in the same tournament. I mean, I'm not complaining. Don't get me wrong. But either way, Infernal Shrines, map number 2 between Team Cow Attack and the Hardos. Let's go. The Hardos on the left side of the map. We got Tychus, played by Hazops, Copenhagen on the Haka, Nick on Abathar, Bad Benny on Jojo, and Yazoo on Lucio. On the right side of the map, Mimikyu with Stitches, and yep, they bring it all the way. They have Hungry for More as the level 1. The extra hit points was reduced to 25 a while ago. Previously it was 30. And they use Alex Strasser with a Circle of Life. That's a brawl combo right there. Pesca with Alex, Richo on Leoric, Cessabos on Junkrat, and Gore Rider on Mephisto. Going for the market pick here. And this is interesting because right now, what you pretty much are trying to do is you want to complete the Circle of Life, you spawn additional regeneration globes after that, and Stitches can boost his own hit point pool by you doing this. So there's a couple of reasons on why exactly they picked Alex Strasser here. First of all, they of course want to control the Shrine with the Dragon Queen. That's something that Tychus is trying to do with Odin. All these transformations are doing fairly well in that regard. But they also want to boost the hit point pool even further of Stitches. And a late game Stitches that has 10, 11, 12, 13,000 hit points can be absolutely terrifying. That was done at some point during Meta Madness by Stalk back then. And that was, I think, on Tomb of the Spider Queen. And they dominated with this. You just couldn't kill the guy late game any longer. And it's a little bit more difficult to make it work now for the reasons pointed out earlier. The number of hit points was reduced slightly, so we don't get as many anymore, but it's still enough. And if you play it out with Alex Strasser, that can be pretty nice. I mean, honestly, the best that it works out is if you play that combo in Brawl. If you're playing Heroes of the Storm Brawls and you have a chance to pick that as a combo, then just go for it. It's a lot of fun in the late game. But in actual games, it's of course a bit more tricky to make it work. But it's still definitely possible. So Lucio is already taken down. That's the first blood in the game, and it goes to Team Cow Attack. So they are already playing this one out, and they're starting to farm this. Stitches is sitting at 3 stacks. Alex Strasser is trying to get some in for herself, and should be able to get that done in a decent time, and then it's all about stacking the hit point pool of the bad boy here. And it will be interesting in the late game. There is Tychus on the other hand, though. So the bigger they are is definitely an option on level 4. We talked a lot about the potential pick into the Master Assassin for Tychus since the passive is just so powerful. But given the fact that they're up against Stitches, I would be a little bit surprised if you didn't go for the bigger they are here. Because especially the late game is going to be a threat, so you need to be a bit careful with this. Ritual all the way, top side, is stalling the lane out just slightly. Yeah, Hazo is still a bit debating on what he wants to go for here. I mean, there's obviously an argument to be made that you maybe also go just for stacks yourself, in this case. They are, by the way, double-checking what's happening around the camp. At the top left, we're already seeing that attacked. And with the Abathar composition in the early game, you normally are starting to struggle a bit against opponents in big team fights, because you don't have that 5th hit point pool in. Bigger they are gets taken from Tychus. Yeah, that's more or less expected here. But the first objective should kind of go over to Team Cow Attack. And now they are locking in even more stacks for Sylvanas. So right now we have her on 10, make that 11. And if they lock the objective in 2, she is getting very, very close to completing the quest early on. And once she does, Stitches is going to get a lot of hit points throughout the course of the game. So if they can make those plays work, that would be great. But now it's Gorrider that is in trouble. Gets attacked, but there's the heal. Well done. So far, so good. They got dicey for a second. And of course, they still have that fountain. Blue team, even with Abathur, they're already doing a great job here. It's a bit of a bait here. Yeah, Stitches is more or less falling for it. Hardos is insanely low on the other hand, so that's another problem. And they go for Stitches. They try to take him down, and they are likely gonna get him. Alexstrasza has also fallen. A double kill for the Hardos. Oh, that is bad news. Against an Abathur composition in the early game, losing that hard. Ooh, that is not good. That is the level 7 for the blue team. That gives us the mule. And yeah, level 7 is ready for both sides, that's true. But still, they get the first one. And that is not good. Not at all for Team Cower Attack and for the Polish fans here. Yeah, they really need to get their shit together here. Go full Napirdalai and still, yeah, take them down somehow. The bait over the wall, as you would expect on that level. The gate falls quickly though, so doesn't do that much. Benny is low, but I don't think they can take him down here. Alexstrasza still doing some work, but they are trying to go for Benny, and he has the Iron Skin up to make it out of the fight. Look at Yasu. Jesus. He is so annoying. A good Lucio player. Nothing is more annoying than a good Lucio player. Look at him. He just dances around everything. He just doesn't give a shit right now. Pissing them off the entire time, and they can't do anything about it. Now Alexstrasza sitting at 12 stacks. She's getting closer. They try to make a play for Leo, which they can't. And yep, there's the 13, so she needs 2 more. There's none in the mid lane right now. But yeah, Lucio is back to his old shenanigans. And they are welcoming Leo with a nice drag and a kill. Yep, face checking the bushes as usual. The counter kill, Lucio finally overstepped a bit too much. And so they take him down. Nicely done. That's the second kill for Team Cow Attack. Yeah, and now there's a few more globes. So 1 more globe and Alexstrasza can heavily help with the heals on, or the globes on Stitches. Oh, nice! Jojo gets taken down by Junkrat and the quest is completed. So here we go. That's the moment when all of these fights, Alex can do a lot. 12 stacks currently for the big boy. I mean, again, that's 300 additional hit points. It's not too shabby. Can definitely live with that. And she should be able to YOLO out a lot more for them. Fucking Lucio. The level 10 sign for both sides. Ultimate Evolution, obviously, for Abathur. Duh. You get the Life Binder in. Endurance of Hate. And they're going for Gorrider here. Yeah, trying to make the play for him. Stitches went for the Devour. For the Gorge. Oh, nice hook. Yeah, that one tickled a little bit. That would definitely scratch some of those boosters of Yasu. We're still waiting for Jojo on the other hand, so right here, honestly, Falling Sword, yeah, there it is. Falling Sword is probably the better option. You have entombs against you that you can jump away from. You could get gorged and jump out. If someone else gets gorged, you can help them by moving in and trying to disrupt him a bit. Obviously, you can make similar arguments, at least to an extent, also for the stun if you find yourself in range. But still, we'll see what they can do with this. Stitches is threatening this. He's going to get the extended hook range at level 13, of course, on the baseline. So it's not too far off. We have him at 16 stacks now. And the next objective, starting topside. And by now, it's already a move straight in for the next camp. So we have 19,000 damage. Lucio is currently the top damage dealer for the Hardos. We have he's the top damage dealer in the game. We have 14,000 for Junkrat. But Lucio is just, I mean, again, he's always there. He's always in your face. Always doing just a little bit of damage. And he's always coming back. I mean, you might kill him, but there's always going to be a new one. Which pretty much makes Lucio a cockroach. So it's pretty much the same thing. You squash one, and he's just going to be back. The bigger version is going to be back shortly after. Now, we nearly got level 13 talents in for the Hardos, and that's a big advantage that they have over the next objective. That they are running this with the lead in XP, and Dehaka is exploiting that ruthlessly at the bot lane. Copenhagen is going to take even this one out. Ah, no, he's not. Yeah, he's moving straight towards the top. Nice, the Entomb is there. Here comes the fight, and Benny is down. Nicely done by Team Cow Attack. Yeah, that cow is hitting hard, apparently. They go for Copenhagen, bit of a body block. The hook is missing. He dodges out on it, and that gives them Shrine Control. That's also a few more stacks on Stitches. He's sitting at 23 now. Yeah, we're talking solid 500 hit points for him. This is starting to significantly boost his hit point pool, and that's really where Tychus needs to chunk him down later on. Nick also with the Tychus copy, he gets quickly obliterated, but there you can see Alex Strauss's level 1 coming into play again. That's another one for Stitches. Time and time again, he's going to get those. The only reason, by the way, why the Hardos are attacking in the first place is because we had Leo move down to the bot lane to deal with the waves that are pushing in, and Dehaka has in the meantime started to push the mid lane and attack the fort here. So it's a real difficult situation for Team Cow Attack. They got the kill initially, and then they did some work with it, but they are still finding themselves in trouble. There's the live miner, nice. Also, the Dragon Queen gets activated. Uh-oh, the Gorge on Lucio, and that is likely a kill. Yes, Yasuo goes down. But so does Alexstrasza. Both of the teams are losing their support. The hook against Odin is fine. But what else can they do? Go Rider made it out, and the Arcane Punisher is taken. Alright, but the Haka has also claimed 50% of the HP of the fort in the middle. Yeah, it's a spicy one. It's a spicy one there. Cesar Boss with a quick tactical pause as we have the Punisher coming in over on the right side. And Stitches, he's currently sitting at 25 stacks. So, he's getting higher and higher up there. I mean, the hit point pool is going to be quite significant. And by the way, the hit point pool on Stitches is obviously also really important because this is what directly affects Devour. So you have a lot of self-sustain. It's not only Alexstrasza that can really help you out there, but it's also what comes with it. And generally speaking, it's 5 kills against 4 now. The damage output that we've seen so far has shifted slightly. I mean, at the beginning, it was just Lucio that was the entire time flying around like a mosquito on the map and attacking everyone. He's fallen off in damage slightly. He's still at 28,000, which puts him higher than any damage dealer on the side of Team Cow Attack. In particular, Junkrat with the 24,000 that he has. And we have Tychus with a 31k. And the more that Stitches stacks his max HP, the more Hazops is going to do with his level 4, with his trade. So the bigger they are is going to proc. We're going to see incredible numbers on Tychus towards the end of the game if this game lasts longer, because then we're going to have more and more hit points on Stitches, more and more value out of the bigger they are, and all of that is of course playing together. They're currently playing a 4 versus 4. Both the supports are down. You really want to do some damage here at the top. The problem for Team Cow Attack is that not only did they lose out on the fort at the bottom of the map, but they also took severe damage here in the middle. So they are falling behind in structure significantly. And there's only a single fountain left that they still hold, and that's the one at the top lane. So they need to do some damage themselves, and it doesn't really seem like they can do this. Jojo and Tychus, they deal with the top lane objective very, very quickly. I mean, they barely broke through the wall. That's rough. Still half a level of lead for the Hardos in experience. And down here, it's a 2 versus 1. Dehaka, Abathar make it possible. The Richu is able to move away, but this is obviously the problem when you're going up against an Abathar. He is going to empower any hero on the map that finds himself in a 1v1. And it's always gonna be, it's always been the case like this. And it's not gonna change anytime soon. So top side, we're still trying to make the plays there. Can't really. Stitch is nearly on 30 stacks now. I mean, again, he is going to have a really nice time, thanks to Alexstrasza in particular, with her level 1. The more that he can do this. The concern is the lead in XP. Now, it is, thankfully for Team Cow Attack, not translating into an objective fight with a talent advantage for the Hardos, at least not yet. Unless they get a few more kills in, that shouldn't be the case. The next one will spawn before level 20 for sure. Yeah, another fight already in the middle of the map. And look at Stitches. It's really difficult for them to take him down. They really need Tychus. And even with him, it might be problematic. So yeah, Stitches comes in, they take the globe. Another hook gets thrown out, they can't hit this one. Another globe gets taken, so that's another 50 hit points for him there already. He's sitting at 32 stacks. And the theme continues. Alexstrasza now also with the overprotective right here. And everybody waiting for the next objective, which is going to spawn this time at the bottom of the map. Yeah. His hook attempts time and time again. Stitches also with the pulverize now. Yeah, a bit of normal reduction there. And he's sitting at 33. The stacking games and Stitches are kind of fun. That's also a bit terrifying. So he's closing in on the extra 1000 HP that he could get. Yeah. Hooks are so far not really all that lucky. The problem, of course, is that on the other side you also have Johanna that can block it with an iron skin whenever the cooldown is still ready. Which she has done a few times. But here comes the play for the fort. And they should get this one. They're going for Alexstrasza too, and that's a kill. Nicely done. The drag against Stitches, and the falling sword. Easy double kill here. They try to go for the big boy, and they get him as well. 4 heroes get eliminated. What a fight again. What an engage. Look at this. They dive after the Alexstrasza kill, deep behind the fort. They don't care about it at all. Jojo with a falling sword. She gets the kill against Mephisto and Junkrat. And now the mid lane is wide open. It's 8 kills to 5. That's exactly what they needed to do here. They got Stitches too, which is a bit of a chore at this point. I mean, Tigers is getting tired just holding down that minigun trigger whenever he tries to take him apart. That's how many hit points Stitches has at this point. But yeah, we got 31,000. Damage for Junkrat. Look at Lucio, 36k. And talking about Lucio, with the help of Abathar, he's already doing this. Nope, not even like this. Not even like this. Baits out the Entomb. That's how frustrated Richu is at this point. That he tried to Entomb it, and it just didn't work. That, on the other hand, worked, and that's a kill. A little bit too overconfident. Get wrecked, baby. Yasuo is down, and honestly, that's a moral victory right there. You might lose the game, you might lose the objective, but at least you killed that fucker Lucio. That feels good. That's just a win. And honestly, I think it's worth a round of applause. So yeah, nicely done, nicely done. We all know that feeling. We all know that feeling. Team Cow Attack, they go up against the Punisher. It has been delayed a bit to buy Lucio some time to potentially make it back, but the red team has engaged into the objective and threatened to turn it around, so they needed to react. But here are the level 20 talents. And we get the big red button, baby, and the cooldown reduction with the Heaven's Fury. Alright, and the big red button is already coming in. Hazu gets a bit of support from Abathar too. And here we go. The hook attempt. He dodged it. Nice. Dodges the hook. And this is going to be keep, isn't it? Yeah, well, maybe not. Maybe not. They're trying. Yeah, I think they can defend this one. Lifebinder. Look, everything on Stitches. Everything on Stitches. He just didn't care. Ah, the Entomb. The kill against Jojo, and Hazu is about to die. Can he kill Sesabos? Yes, he can. His own private Obama moment right here. As he drops Junkrat. Copenhagen, on the other hand, he might fall. It's all a question of whether or not Yasuo can help them. Copenhagen is on the run, gets a shield, and now he's body blocked. Now he's body blocked. Finds himself in the trap, but they go for Alexstrasza, and they take Alexstrasza down. Oh, but don't tell me he escapes. The hook! And Abathar is trying to help him here. The Haka is dead. The Haka is dead. The top lane is pushed by a cam. Let's not forget about that. That could also become an issue. But down here, they want to go for Yasuo again. And again, the Entomb doesn't hit him. Fucking Yasuo. 1v4. Let's go. Alright, I guess technically it's a 2v4. And he gets the kill. Yeah, not frustrating at all. Not frustrating at all. But maybe now. Yasuo, Yasuo, Yasuo. He's dying again. I call worth though. I call worth it. No way. The hook! Honestly, they don't even want to go and win the game anymore. They don't give a shit about the game any longer. They're just like, we are gonna hunt this motherfucker down, and if it's the last thing that we're gonna do in this game. It might be the last thing that we're gonna do in this game, but this fucker is gonna die. Look at him. They're not even trying to catch him. They're just trapping him. And they get him. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Love it. The dedication. They put more effort into killing Lucio here than they did into winning an objective in the game. That's pretty much what happened. And that's exactly how you need to approach this. I can totally understand that. I would have done the same thing. Like, they are the moral winners of this game already. I don't know what you want, guys. What do you mean they might not make it to the grand final? Fuck the grand final. They killed Lucio. That's all that you want to do. Punish Yasuo here. Awesome. Nicely done. 47 stacks, by the way, for Stitches. Yeah, he's nearly at an additional... wait a second... Alright, so yeah, he's nearly at 1,250 extra hit points. Very, very close on that. And as I promised earlier, this is going to boost the damage on Tychus. Obviously, Big Red Button and everything else that Tychus has in his arsenal is also contributing to it. But Tychus is now at 60,000 damage. So yeah, every single time he activates, the bigger they are. It's huge. Bad Benny might be dead, Benny. Yeah, he might have gone a little bit too deep. I'm pretty sure he's going to die, but he's also going to buy time for this, and that's going to be a keep. So yeah, at this point, they're just going to go for kills. Yeah, maybe he's not going to die. He jumped away. He dodged the hook with a jump. Nice. But as predicted, the bot lane has now time enough to take the keep down. Keep is gone. Copenhagen gets attacked, trying to tunnel his way out. Yeah, and they're going for the objective. Like, the entire game, pretty much Team Cow Attack is just running around on the map like headless chicken, attempting to kill Lucios, to kill Johannas, to kill the Hakas. They're just trying to catch up with all of this stuff. And it's not really working. So the Hardos are playing around them wherever they can. But now that the red team focuses on the objective, this is where the Hardos might have to face the music and go for it. And it's level 20 versus level 20 that we're talking about here. Stitches by now has roughly 1,300 extra hit points, so that's solid and is super difficult to kill. Now there's a couple of other heroes on the team though, and they might be able to take them out much quicker than that. The isolation is already hit. There comes the entomb, and that's a dead... No! 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 Not like this! Benny! He goes down. But it took them way longer than expected. The Punisher has already taken. So... here we go. Leo is dead. Lucio is doing Lucio things. Stitches is saying, well, you can try and attack me, but I have a lot of hit points. I'm happy with that. He's plus-sized. And Gore Rider, yeah, he makes it out. Alexstrasza is keeping them alive as much as she can. But Stitches, no! He's dead. He can die after all. The punching bag got punched. And now with 13 kills to 11, it is game. The Hardos, they make it happen. A 2-0 victory against Team Cow Attack as they move on to the grand final in another moment to face off against Team Wah once again. Nicely done. Dominant first map. Second map a little bit closer, but also a huge fiesta. And well, this game, everybody, a 2-0 victory as they lock in the W on Infernal Shrines.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.